Hello, and welcome to Let's Talk Midlife Crisis with your hosts,
Ashley
and Traci. Today, I just want to catch up with Ashley. I haven't seen her in a couple of weeks. She has been traveling and doing a bunch of fun stuff. Happy fall, Ashley.
Oh, yes. It was really nice to, I have been traveling a lot. It's nice to be home. But yeah, it was nice to go. I was on the East Coast, so I got to leave the heat for a little while, which was so nice because I was losing my mind. And the weather was great, and I came back, and it was still pretty. We were still in the 90s when I got back last week, but yeah, now, I mean, it was actually cold yesterday. So
it was chilly. It was windy. It was chilly. I was thinking that you brought some of that cool weather back.
Yeah, I think I did. It feels great.
Awesome. Now, so you went to PA, right? And Paige officiated a wedding.
She did, yeah.
How did that go?
It was the Philly area, just outside of Philly. The wedding was in Lancaster, and it was actually a small town called Lititz. So adorable. If you ever go to the East Coast, you have to check out all the cute small towns. There's another town called Pottstown, and Lititz was adorable. I'd never been there before. Very quaint, cute little main street with shops and diners, and we stayed in a little boutique hotel. The wedding venue was gorgeous. It's just so green out there, and you don't really need a lot of decoration because just the environment.
All the foliage, right, which we don't have here. We're in the desert, so.
I know. So yeah, it was great. It was a lot of fun. Paige killed it. She did a great job.
I knew she would.
People laughing and crying and
oh,
yeah. So it was beautiful. It was a beautiful wedding, and then we stayed for about a week back near the Philly area and spent a lot of time with her family. And then I went up to New York for 4 days to spend some time with my son. So it was a much needed vacation, a little crazy, trying to see everybody and get everything in, but it was very nice, yeah.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. And how is New York this time of year?
New York was great. I've already been and done all the touristy stuff. So when I go visit my son, he's currently in Brooklyn. He just takes me to the local places that he likes to hang out. And it's nice because I've seen a lot of areas that I have never seen before. They're not crowded with tourists. And at one point I was like, are we still in the city? Because it was just so quaint and cute. And there weren't cars honking constantly. It felt like a normal town.
Right.
But he's actually moving this weekend to Manhattan. He'll be just a few blocks from Central Park on the east side.
No way.
Yeah,
wow.
Very exciting. I got to tour the apartment. It's really cute. It just blows my mind how small those spaces are.
Right.
But, now he's in a studio, and this one's a 1-bedroom. So they're really excited to have a door to their bedroom.
Oh, they're moving on up.
They are, yes.
Wow,
it was
so
great.
exciting.
It was a lot of fun. I didn't do any shows or anything like that. It was just kind of time I wanted to spend with my son. I think next time I go, I'll try to do a couple of things like shows and stuff like that. But
nice.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. What have you been up to?
Not a lot. Actually, the grandkids, there's problems with the daycare, so I've been having them here while I work and doing school pickup and drop off and all different things. So I'm actually pretty wiped out, to be honest, doing all that. So
it's been a long time since you've had to do that stuff.
Yeah. Oh gosh, shoot me now. I swear, nothing I hate more than the school pickup and drop offs. Oh my gosh. I
do not miss it.
And I told you, it's been a few years. So my oldest grandkids, I think we're in the same school. They all go to the same school that my kids went to, but, my daughter was dropping them off or whatever. She told me because they were at the grade school, but she said that a mom got arrested.
What?
Yeah.
Why? What happened?
I don't know all the details, but I could just imagine because it was just waiting to happen. So anyhow, I know, right? For the kid, I was hoping it was a small child so that they wouldn't know, but Holy cow. Holy cow.
Oh.
I know. So I wanted to tell you. So I'm having a hard time sleeping lately. Not going to sleep usually, but then I wake up early and just all this
Mm-hmm.
weird stuff. So anyways, and Emily at Still For Her is actually offering free samples
Oh,
of
great.
her gummies, and she has a new product out now that doesn't have any THC in it, but
Okay.
they're the menopause gummies that I did sample before and I really, really liked, and I was thinking about that. And then I got an email from her saying there was an opportunity for her to send us more free gummies if we'll do reviews for her.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So also wanted to share that with everyone out there. If you're interested at all, the link to her website will be in the description of our podcast. But okay, so this is hilarious. I want to share this with you, and I wanted to do it live because I want to it to be
Raw reaction.
raw reaction. So I am finally sleeping good last
Oh,
night,
good.
and all of a sudden I hear my phone going off. Ping, 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 ping. And I'm thinking, WTF, like, what is happening, right? So you get a ding, and then what is it? 2 minutes later, you get another ding, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I hear ding, ding again. And it's funny because the first ding, I thought, I know who
Oh,
this is.
no.
It's my friend. We'll call her Susan. And I pick up the phone and all I could see was her name. And I'm like, oh, now I knew it wasn't any emergency because if it was, somebody would have called, right? But it's
Right.
like, it's dark out. It's like, oh my gosh, the butt crack of, it's not even dawn yet. And I didn't know until later when I did get up, what time the text came through. And again, this is a Saturday, people. Saturday. So I had the day off work. I just wanted to sleep in. And I get this text, and it was at 5:50 a.m.
No.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, no.
Yep, yep, yep. And so of course, I just looked to see that it was her, and then I put the phone down and waited until later when I got up, and then I was like, ugh. And I kind of knew it was her anyway, but then I was not pleasantly surprised, but I was surprised that one of our friends had also sent out a
Yes, I got the
text.
same
I
one. Yes.
know we're all in these group texts,
Well, and like you, I was really looking forward to hopefully sleeping in a little bit. And yeah, my phone dinged and it woke me up, and I'm like, okay, should I stay up or
Right.
should I try to sleep more?
Yep. And by the second one, so then that text that we both got came at 6:29 a.m.
Mhm. I was able to go back to sleep. Were
I
you?
wasn't. No,
Oh,
no. Well, it's hard to say, but I didn't crawl out of bed till 8 o'clock. So
yeah.
first and foremost, people, if it's the weekend, hold text till at least 8 a.m. 9, I think, is a reasonable hour to send a text, right?
Oh, yeah. On a weekend, absolutely. I
Yes.
mean, even if I'm not sleeping and don't want to be bothered by messages that are, for the most part, usually not important.
I know. That's true. Nothing is that important that it can't wait a couple hours. So that's my first message I want to get across. Okay. Now, the beauty of it is, Susan, you're forgiven because she sent through a text that says, "Is this real?" question mark. And then look at this ... with the big eyeballs. So look at your phone.
Stop. No.
Yes.
Menopausal Barbie.
Menopausal Barbie.
This is hilarious.
Isn't that hilarious? So there's a link in our description of this podcast, or go to any of our social channels to find it. It is hilarious. You'll see a picture of it, and there's actually a video out there, and it says, I don't know if you can hear it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can hear it.
We'll turn the music off. It says comes with matching fan, stretchy pants, and bail money for when you finally snap.
Oh my gosh. And the box says ages 40 and up.
Right? Oh my gosh. So as much as I was annoyed with her sending that text at what could be called an inappropriate hour, I thought it was awesome. And I told her that, which was, of course, by this time, 9 or 10 a.m. And I said that you've earned a spot as a guest on our show.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we'll coordinate. She's actually hilarious. And I hadn't seen her for a while. And she joined us at a brunch not too long ago. And oh my gosh, she just looked fabulous. If I would have been walking down the street, I wouldn't have recognized her.
Really?
She lost so much weight. And sadly enough, I'm not generally one that notices that. And in such a bad way. Like somebody will lose a tremendous amount of weight, like life-changing amount. And I'll see them for the first time and I'll just be thinking to myself, something looks different. Like,
What's different?
but right away with her, I noticed that she had lost a bunch of weight. It was very apparent. She looked tall and thin, slender and beautiful.
Aw.
And she has these, and she got new glasses, which are the big chunky black square frames that are very trendy now. But anyhow, she's actually a hoot. And so, yeah, I told her that she's earned us a spot as a guest on our show.
Oh, that's
And
exciting. Good for her.
she says she already has some content and about dating. And we touched on that a little bit at brunch and she was hilarious. And I'm not going to do any spoilers, but and wait till she gets on the show. Yeah, it was just too funny.
Wow.
But I had to share that with you.
Speaking of dating,
Yes.
so didn't you say you were downloading an app or something? Okay, how's that going?
So I did download an app and, it's not going so well. It's, and the sad thing is that I saw it online and it's called Date My Age. And of course it baited me with all these gorgeous guys, right? Older silver foxes. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I sign up. And I think I've only actually been back on it once since I've signed up, and that was at least a month ago, maybe 2. I get all of these messages from men, like in Argentina. There's either a ton of single men in Argentina or just some kind of scam crap going on in Argentina.
I'm serious. Well, can you filter it so that they're local at least?
I do. I had it filtered, by my city and the radius and all that kind of stuff. And then I just noticed I was getting all those types of, responses. I hadn't reached out to anybody yet. And then probably a couple weeks ago, I thought, you know what, let's get on there. We're going to have to, put some time into it. So I get on and I find this guy. I'm like, oh, well, he's cute. He lives in the city that we live in. And so I reach out to him and I'm pretty sure that he's never, responded, which is fine. And he could very well be like me that just isn't even back on there anymore. And doesn't check their personal email often because I don't. But anyhow, so yeah, it's really fizzled out. And then a friend of mine, Jackie, we had signed up for the Dinner with Strangers that one of our guests, Nina, was talking about. So we signed up for that where they match you with strangers and with similar age, interests and things. And then you go to a restaurant, and meet with them. And anyhow, so we both signed up and they don't tell you where you're going until the morning of the event. Okay.
Wow.
So she texts me a screenshot of where her event was, and it wasn't where mine was. And I was just, I was so put off by that. We both selected the same types of things. But anyways, so I bailed. And it's so funny because God bless her. Excuse me. And she knows it. But she's the blow off queen. But this time it was me. I was like, let's just reschedule and we'll try to maybe be together when we're doing it, or at least on the phone. But honestly, I don't think it will probably get to be at the same venue. I didn't realize there was going to be so many. I thought it would be one venue and maybe a bunch of different tables, right? And you would just be sat at a table. So anyhow, we're going to try to reschedule that for the end of this week, or excuse me, the end of this month, which is October. it would be a good time to have Susan on, because we can maybe have Jackie on as well, or have maybe another back-to-back episodes about dating, because that's what Susan wants to talk about as well. She said she's very prepared. And like I said, she's hilarious. My friend Jackie's hilarious. So I think those will be some good episodes. But so Jackie and I are going to try to reschedule, even if we don't make it to the same event or same venue. There's also an opportunity through the organization to meet up afterwards at a designated place for drinks. Yeah. But it's not like her and I can't, meet somewhere and go have a drink as well. So,
right.
But yeah, so that's been going on. A lot of nothing there, but
I know it.
I don't know.
I'm excited to hear how that goes, because I think that's probably a little less intimidating than dating apps and like meeting up with someone specifically for a date.
Right. Yeah.
I think that would definitely be more comfortable for me if I were in that position.
Yeah. And on the website, of course, and this is so terrible, this is who I am, and you'll find out more in our next episode, because it's going to be a topic. I hate apps. I hate doing stuff on my phone. I have the font as big as you can get it, but I just would rather do it on my computer. So, and I have a Mac, so it pretty much acts the same as my iPhone. And I can, open a lot of apps and do different things. So I was on there, which is where I signed up. I didn't have the app on my phone like my friend. But it said things like, all you have to do is say hi. Like, sit down and say hi. That's it. It's dinner. So I think I could look, if I don't have an interest in my table, I'm interested in my food all day long.
Right.
I could just eat, and then, it wouldn't be perhaps rude or uncomfortable, right? I'll just eat, and maybe somebody will talk to me. But yeah, it'll be interesting. But I thought it was nice.
I mean, when you're put in settings like that, and you have various people, there's always someone that's going to strike conversation, know?
And you know what? It might be me. Give me a little cocktail. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I probably would, especially if there wasn't anyone there that I was specifically interested in. Then I think I would probably be able to like cut the rug and just, have a good time and have.
You're not nervous.
Yeah, have the whole table like, cracking up. But if somebody was there that I was interested in, I don't honestly know how.
Right.
How much I would be able to, act the same way. But you never know. But I also want us, for our episode today, I would love for our audience to take a part of it. We want you to get involved too, unless you're driving in Atlanta at this time. But after you listen to the episode, head over to social media and share your thoughts. We were talking about the Barbie, the menopausal Barbie. And I don't think a mental image can do it justice. I think you actually have to go online. You have to see it. You have to see it, because it says, comes with matching fan and stretchy pants and bail money. And I did look it up a little bit. There's actually not a menopausal Barbie. There are a bunch of, it was on Pinterest. It's on TikTok. The one that, and maybe I didn't send that one to you. I just sent that one, the one to you that had the picture, because I didn't know if you had a TikTok account.
I do. I just never get on there.
Right. And even though you don't get on there, you could still open it, but I wasn't sure. So I just wanted to show you, but, it's on TikTok. It does look like it's a person though, doesn't it?
Yeah. And a lot of these, I'm just scrolling down through Pinterest, and a lot of these it's like costumes,
Right. But it's hilarious.
There's a couple, and the woman is middle-aged Barbie, and the man is midlife crisis Ken.
That is awesome. There we go. Yes. And I was going to ask about it, Ken. There were a lot of comments on the TikTok one that I saw about where's Ken, but that's funny. Midlife crisis Ken. He's probably driving a sports car, and that's hilarious. But what else? What would you? What essential item would you add to her kit? I don't know. I want to say
a bottle of wine, personally.
I was going to say Dr. Pepper. Isn't that sad that I just want my soda? But yeah, what would you think? Join us for the conversation on our social channels. You'll see this post. Leave us a comment of what you would add to her kit, her menopausal kit. But I just thought that was the funniest thing. And what a great way to wake up this
Oh,
morning.
absolutely.
You know,
With a good laugh.
it was a really good laugh. It was a really good. So what I think would be fun is we'd like to ask for your stories, your advice, or funny moment. One of those, I can't believe this is happening, midlife experiences, whether it's about handling chin hairs, facial hairs, dealing with hot flashes in the middle of meetings, or the day you decide enough is enough and throw on those stretchy pants, which I'm not wearing stretchy pants right now, but they're drawstring. Does that count?
Yes, it counts. I'll never forget the first time. So I kept feeling this like hair on my chin, and I could tell it was coarser than the peach fuzz that I have. And I kept messing with it, and I kept thinking, I need to remember to pluck this. And I forget what setting I was in, but it was public. And I was engaging with people, face-to-face conversations. And I think it must have been later that day I got home and I felt it again. I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to pluck this now. It's driving me crazy. Go to the mirror, and it's literally like almost a quarter of an inch long, black hair from like the bottom of my chin. And
like a pube coming right out.
It's so long, it's starting to curl.
Oh.
And I know, and I stupidly kept messing with it. So I know people noticed it because I kept touching it. And I'll never forget. That was the first time I found it, and it grows back all the time. And now I'm on top of it. But it was the first time I discovered it, and I was just mortified. I thought, oh my gosh, people were probably why does she keep playing with that long black hair on her face?
Right. I went to the hair salon once, and my girl that does my hair got the tweezers out and plucked on my face and said, I can't have you walk around looking like that. I think it's kind of harder for that one hair where, I told you I had like total razor stubble. It was horrible and very coarse. But I would like to say that I've only went to one laser treatment. I'm going again next week, so it'll be my second one. But even after the first one, I can tell a difference. Good. It's not coming in. It was just gross to touch my face. It's like, who is that? It was like a man's face, with how coarse and how much of it there was. And then over to like this left side, it felt soft, right? But it's like, because it was like a beard. It was so long, like you were just talking about. But anyways, I'm still in the process of doing that. My hairdresser had to pluck it out. And
if you guys have any stories like that, please share. It's funny to hear everyone's experiences. It's mortifying as some of the stories are, but
right. Well, especially, talking about hot flashes in the middle of meetings, because there is, and I wanted to do the research before our show today, but I just ran out of time. But there is a staggering number of women that are in the workforce that are going through menopause. So there has to be a ton of funny stories out there.
Well, and I think too, just, in public in general, like when you're, at dinner with friends and you're, talking to them and suddenly you feel, I'll feel it. It just comes from my waist up and my face. I know it's beet red.
Right.
I know it is. I can feel it's hot to the touch.
Right.
And I'm sitting there trying to pretend like it's not happening, having a conversation, and I know they're going, is she okay?
I know. Mine starts from the head down, but it doesn't matter. And the first thing you think of is when you look around is like, do they notice? Can they tell? Yeah, it's so embarrassing, but it's just the fun. And this is what we talk about all day long, every show, and how to embrace it, because that's all you can really do, right?
Yeah.
It's happening.
Yeah. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Gotta get through it.
And that just about wraps it up for today. Thank you for joining us on Let's Talk Midlife Crisis. Embrace the change.
Join the conversation on our website at letstalkmidlifecrisis.com or our Facebook or Instagram and YouTube channels. We'd love to hear from you guys.